Okay. All right, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a hump day edition of Morning Scone, presented by Brock, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Hoodco Roofing, hoodcoroofing.com, Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com, and ProCharge EV, ProChargeEV.com. I'm actually pinning right now. Only a few days left, man. A few days left to enter the for the Charger giveaway. Sunday's the last day of the month, so click that link. ProCharge giving away 3 free EV chargers to a business somewhere, to 3 different businesses somewhere in the state of Louisiana. So click that link. Business or commercial building, ProChargeEV.com. Click that link. We'll say some warnings here. LSU baseball loses last night to Nichols. Wacky game, like in a sense, you kind of have to tip your cap to Nichols. Defensively, they were incredible. If you didn't watch the game, and I'm assuming many of you probably did not, there were no less than 5 spectacular, like run-saving defensive plays by Nichols. 2 of them in the first inning, running catches, one running it against the wall to rob Dylan Cruz of a sure double. Cade Beloso hit one to the wall that was caught against the wall. Thompson, the other one, there's another one that was caught against the wall. And then the final play of the game, if you weren't watching, so LSU's leading 4-3. Nichols gets a run in the 8th to tie it at 4. Then at the top of the 9th, LSU kind of imploded, and its defense let it down, and Nichols ends up plating 2. 1 run comes home, and then a relay throw, gets through Milazzo, and a 2nd run scores. So it's 6-5. Nichols going to the bottom of the 9th. And Jared Jones homers. So it's 6-5, nobody out. LSU loads the bases with nobody out. Josh Pearson strikes out. So, I'm sorry, there was 2 on, nobody out. Pearson strikes out. They walk Dylan Cruz. So it's bases loaded, 1 out for Cade Beloso. Beloso hits a flare behind second base, which was in no man's land. The shortstop running over makes this like diving snow cone catch. Merrifield, who was on second base, took off with contact, thought it was going to land, and he was going to score the game-winning run. And the ball was caught. Shortstop gets up and runs and touches second base. They double up Merrifield. The game ends. I mean, you kind of have to just tip your cap to Nichols because defensively they were awesome. Now for LSU, there was no Trey Morgan. There was no Tommy White. You started Pearson in left. You started Ethan Fry in right. You started Braden Jobert at third. So it was a weird game, because you were short some guys. But nonetheless, like, tip your cap. Nichols defensively, they were awesome. I mean, it wasn't like they just made routine plays and LSU got themselves out. Like, Nichols made spectacular defensive plays. Like, just hat tip. Congrats. If LSU's at full strength, you have Morgan and White in that lineup. I mean, it's different probably, but whatever. Thatcher Hurd gave you 4 innings yesterday. He walked the first batter of the game on 4 pitches. I was like, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. The 5 pitches, I'm sorry. He got 3-0 through a strike and then walked down on the 5th pitch. So walked the first batter of the game, but settled in. He allowed 3 hits, walked 2, struck out 5. Just the 1 run in the second, excuse me. Riley Cooper came on. He got knocked around a bit. Cooper gave up 3 hits, couple of runs. Dutton came on, was pretty good for 2 innings. Bryce Collins gave you 2 innings. Again, the unfortunate thing is the defensive implosion came behind Bryce Collins, but not necessarily his fault. So, anyway, let's say some good mornings here, see what y'all got. Draft is tomorrow. Excited for it. YouTube, please smash that like button, subscribe up to the channel. Facebook, please like the page, share the post. Trivia Carter, good morning. Matt Plavidal, good morning. Yeah, Trivia can't even be upset about last night. Nichols played way above themselves. They played great. Defensively, they were stellar. Brett DeGrow, good morning. Nick Newbill, good morning. Hurd settled in and looked better. To get through 4 was a big improvement. Walking the leadoff hitter was concerning, but he did settle in, which was nice to see. Far from perfect, but, if Hurd can steady himself and become a 4th starting option, you may need that in Hoover. Hopefully you don't play a 4th game in the regional, but if you need it, he's your guy. And then depending on winner's bracket, loser's bracket, etc. in Omaha, provided you get there, you could need a 4th starter. So, Thatcher Hurd steadying himself and becoming reliable for something would be a great benefit to this team. Especially considering the injuries that you've had, like the guys that are available, you need them to be able to perform for you. Hunter Picard, hats off to Nichols, one of the best defensive nights I've seen in a while. Yeah, man. Wendell Norman, Justin Marquez, Jason H. Morning, Matt. How's Drew doing? It's good, thanks. We went to the doctor yesterday. Sinus infection, so he's on the come. He's getting better. So the weekend he was not feeling good this weekend. So, but he's getting better, which is good. Wendell Norman, Justin Marquez, Pat Houston. Good morning. Smart baseball. I guess exactly what you have to do to beat the number 1 team in the country. Yeah, no, it was great for Nichols. Yeah, good for them. That's some memory those guys will keep forever. Get a win over number 1. A lot of those guys wanted to play at LSU, didn't get an offer. You're able to come in and get a win. Yeah, good for them. Rough night in the SEC West, though, man. Arkansas lost to Missouri State. Who other? Georgia State beat Georgia. Louisville beat Kentucky. Troy beat Auburn. Sam Houston beat Texas A&M. Nichols beat LSU. Missouri State beat Arkansas. It was a rough day for the league in their midweeks yesterday. Ryan Slayton watching in Gaithersburg, Maryland. Cheers, Ryan. Thanks for being there, man. Appreciate you. Reed Rule, really excited about Ethan Fry. Crushes the ball, runs very well for his size. Remember, he's the 3rd catcher in this class because you had Brady Neal, Jared Jones, and Ethan Fry. So Fry is actually the 3rd catcher in the class. What a luxury that you can take him and put him in right field and he'll mash the baseball. Yes, they're good, man. Good and talented. Brent Roban, good morning. Most bizarre game I've seen. Tip you got the Nichols defense, rookie mistake from Merrifield, potentially cost the W. Yeah. I'd also say, third base coach needs to be screaming at him to get back or go halfway sort of thing, but yes. Jeff McKithen, Earl Lytle, good morning. Deborah Coward, good morning. Will you be at Walk on Saturday? So, Deborah, I'm not sure yet. So, I'll know today. I was supposed to be going to Jazz Fest with my brother-in-law to see the Steve Miller Band, but I don't know if we're going to do that. If we don't do that, then yes, I will be at Walk-Ons on Saturday. So Saturday is the Pro Charge event. It's like a tailgate party. Crawfish for sale. You can go purchase crawfish, obviously, bar and everything like that, cash bar. live music out in the parking lot. There's like 3 bands that are going to be playing. So if you're looking for something to do Saturday, noon to 6, big party leading up to the to game 2 with LSU and Alabama out at the box. So y'all come on out. Ben Boudreaux, good morning. Brant Roban, people bashing Wes Johnson. He can't help injuries. I think it's these guys getting overworked. Look, man, Brant, the thing about injuries, that's a debate, a discussion that's being had at higher levels that's far beyond what we're going to solve here, right? Is it overuse as kids? You're seeing a lot of the youth leagues now put kids on pitch counts in tournaments and in leagues where they can't pitch more than so many days apart. Like, they're trying to do that. I think that's part of it. I think throwing breaking balls at a younger age is part of it. Some of it is these guys are just bigger and stronger, and when you're throwing 100 with that much torque on your elbow, like, you're gonna have injuries. It's just the nature of it. So I don't know necessarily that it's anybody's fault. I just think when an injury presents, you got to make sure that you're diligent and you use proper arm care. You know. Craig Duke, Nichols beat the midweek D team and Cruz. Yeah, basically. But you got to tip your cap to Nichols, Craig. I mean, like, they played great. I mean, defensively, they kept making great plays. I mean, like, seriously, good for them. Courtney Store, hey Dad, good morning. Mark Vitanovich, good morning. Who will the Saints draft tomorrow night? I'm going to say, Mark, I'll go on record and say Brian Breesy. If they stay at 29, I think Brian Breesy from Clemson is the one we've seen most often mocked to the Saints, and that makes a lot of sense. So that's what I would say. Craig, Muso sabotaging. That man really doesn't want to pay for dinner. So if you haven't heard the ongoing bet about would LSU have over 11.5 run rules on the season, so they're at 11 right now, one more. It's Muso and Cartwright's bet, but I've weaseled my way into it. Trey Potan, good morning. Small ball would be nice at times. Trey, look, man, here's the problem with that, to say it. You have a team that's the best offense in the country, right? I mean, you lead the nation, lead the SEC in all these statistical categories. Like, when do you want to play small ball? You want to let a guy take off and run and potentially run into an out when you got Dylan Cruz at the plate or Cade Beloso who could go yard, or like anybody at the plate that could go yard? Like, who do you want to sacrifice themselves? You know, I mean, it's not your style of play. Like, I don't understand why you'd ask for it when, like, what you do exceptionally well. So do the thing you do exceptionally well. You're number 1 in the country, man. You haven't lost a weekend. Like, you're going to lose games. That's baseball. But don't be dramatic and saying, like, oh, you know, change the style of play. Like, no, that's not what they do. It's okay. It's like, if you're a team that throws the ball 70 times a game, like, man, it'd be nice if you ever run again. Well, it's not what you do. You don't run the ball. Anyway. David Tolson, let's see. While midweek games don't impact overall national rankings, as a fan, it's disappointing to see the Tigers lose to in-state schools. Okay. I mean, we'll just never talk about it again. So, sure, watching it is disappointing because you want your team to win always, but I mean, do you remember who the LSU lost to the midweek last year? Hang on one second, let me drink back speaker. connected his backpack, but I never started it. Oh, idiot. The Drew has a feeding tube, as many of you know, so he sleeps with an extension on so we could push meds or give him a feed or anything like that. So I always start his G-tube feed while he sleeps, and it finishes when I wake him up to get him ready for school. And I'm an idiot and I hooked him up, pushed his medicines, and didn't start the backpack. So he's just been laying there connected to his backpack and not getting fed. And that throws off the whole day. God dog it. Anyway, okay. We have a couple more. I'm gonna have to go figure out what to do with that. Brant, let's see, minus Hurd and Edwards. Do you think we'll be back to full strength by postseason? I think you mean Shores and Edwards. Hurd pitched last night. Yeah, I mean, Dugas, I think, is going to play injured the rest of the year. But yeah. Earl, hope we have an excellent draft. Matt, do you think the defensive tackle from Pitt looks undersized, or the DT from Clemson? Yeah, so Kalijah Cansey is the DT from Pitt. We talked about him on AFR on Monday. There's actually a video on the AFR YouTube channel if you want to check it out. AFR Saints YouTube. My feeling on Kalijah Cansey. Never mind. I did start it. Erica must have stopped it. He got a full feed. Okay. That would have been very, very uncharacteristic. Anyway, so thankfully he did get his full feed. Okay, anyway. Okay. Let me go quickly here, see if I can get some more through. Oh, man. Gary Petrie, Eric Wilderrider, good morning. Let's see. I appreciate Jordan Thompson's college shortstop. At the end of the day, he's a career 280 hitter with an objectively poor fielding percentage. What stat am I missing that makes him a pro? Eric, that's one of the most insane comments I've ever seen. Like, what don't you see? Amazing range, great athlete, great arm. He's a 5-tool guy, hits in the clutch. I don't know what you expect to see. He's absolutely a pro. That's crazy to me. And to say an objectively poor fielding percentage is also kind of dumb. Like, I don't understand. I really don't get it with some of the LSU fans and Tom. I mean, I do. It's because this is what fans do. You latch on to narratives, and then anything that supports it, you just take it to the nth degree. Thompson struggled early last year, and the second half of the season was actually magnificent, but nobody talks about that. But now anytime he commits an error, he sucks. This year, Jordan Thompson is fielding .944, which for a shortstop is fantastic. It's actually the best of his career. And he's had 6 errors. As a freshman at 15, last year at 18, he has 6 errors right now in 107 total chances. Like, to say he's got a career fielding percentage of 925. Like, to say that's objectively bad is objectively wrong, especially when he's fielding 944 this year. So no, Eric, I don't agree with you at all. And you're going to look silly whenever he'll be a top 3 round pick and make a lot of money, and he'll play in the show one day. All right, I got to go. Leslie Martin, who do you think the Saints take with the first pick? I'll say Brian Breesy from Clemson. Hope it works out for you, Ronnie. Ronnie's over at Brock. He told me he got that fractured arm. Golly. I got to get going. I'm sorry. Andy Roberts, anything going on Mississippi State weekend to pregame with the fam coming in for that series? By the way, Dugas needs to find a slump buster. That's not funny. Come on. Dugas is also working through a bad shoulder injury. And I'm not sure about Mississippi State weekend. We'll see. Cliff Nelson, Morning Scone. Oliver Twist tonight. Yep, Oliver Twist tonight, and then Don Juan tomorrow. So Oliver Twist tonight for Scone and T. Don Juan tomorrow for a draft watch party. Blew the call. Should have been called out when he walked to the dugout. LSU supposed to go chase him with the showers. No, I'm with you on that. But he didn't go into the dugout, and there was never time called. So you could say the ump blew it for sure. But then if you're LSU, you could also say LSU blew it by falling asleep. So heads up to the tip of the cap to the kid from Nichols for having a heads up play. All right, I got to get going. Darren Straub, what's going on? You worried about pitching injuries getting close to the postseason? Not if Skeens, Floyd, and Little are all healthy pitching the way they are. I feel really good about that. Let's see. All right. Bart, Thompson has made more errors than he was credited with. Bart, and I don't care that you play baseball till you're 46. You could also make the argument that because he's got great range, he gets to more balls than other shortstops would never be able to even get to have a chance at them. So come on, man. Like, Bart, I don't care that you played baseball till you're 46 in a beer league. Like, it's just so stupid. I'm sure you know way more than every scout and everybody that's ever played baseball because you played until you're 46 in a beer league. Have a nice day. See y'all. Ruining my morning, man.